Hey guys, Kurt from Time Machine Transport. So I'm going to be doing a video on replacing my brake chamber. So I built up pressure in my truck. So this is how you do it. You just build up pressure. You check to see if you have any air leaks. And then I walked around my truck listening to everywhere because I put that valve in. And then this other valve right here, that big one right there, can you guys see that? Right there. Anyway, so I wanted to make sure that I didn't have any leaks. So I didn't, but then what you want to do is you want to push in or release your tractor brakes. You still see I'm holding good pressure. But now listen when you can hear a back feeding in the dash. Now what you want to do is you want to walk around your truck and your trailer. See if you're hearing any air leaks. And that's exactly what I did. And I found an air leak. Coming from my air chamber. That's an automatic out of service. Believe it or not. Takes a while for my big ass to get up. So, and you can see by that how fast my pressure dips. Can you hear that? And see how fast it dropped? No bueno. And then when you engage, or when you engage the brakes, it goes away. So we're going to go over how to do brake chamber. So first off, you need to make sure that you know. Let me go grab my flashlight. All right, I do have my light set up there, but it's easier back here. So you want to know if you have a daddy long stroking or daddy short stroking. All right, so when you have the brakes engaged, that's as long as it's going to get. That's as long as it's going to get. Now when I release my brakes, see, now I haven't really dropped at all. Excuse my dirty ass shop. Now you can see how they sucked in. That's how you know if you got a long stroke or a short stroke. That's what she said and he said. So what I want to do is I'm going to put you on pause. You can still hear it, and you can see I drop pretty quick. That's no bueno. So I'm going to put you on pause while I start up my truck, and we're going to build up the pressure. All right, guys. Air is all up on my truck. So this I bought from Amazon, and it's a Torque 3030 welded clevis. So that means this is your clevis. This is welded. There's no nut because some come with a threaded rod. I think just the longs, and this is my first time ever doing that, so what I'm saying is not gospel, so make sure you do your own research. This is your clevis. That's what your slack adjuster goes on, which is right there. All right, and that's your slack adjuster. Now, that's up to you. So this part from Amazon, and we have Amazon Prime, so it's free shipping. It's a short stroke, and it was $65, $64.99 plus tax, I'm sure. Freightliner, because this is a Century class, Freightliner wanted $184 or $185 before taxes, so you're looking at $200, which is crazy. So this actually, it's a 2.5 stroke type 30-30 welded clevis, like I said. And I've had, so if you look over here on this one here, that one they just replaced the front part. I think it's called like a piggyback or something like that. I don't know if you can do that on this one, but for the price, you might as well just replace the whole thing. I mean, it just makes sense. And you have your bolt, your nut, and your washer to back off your brakes. Like I had to when I was over in Wyoming. I had to back off all four when that valve froze up on me on the interstate. So it replaces Bendix, Halodex, and this is your number for your Bendix. So it replaces this KO67114K129605. And then the Halodex, it replaces GC30305. Oh no, I'm sorry. I think that's 54. I can't get into my phone, so I believe that's I don't even know my own damn handwriting, huh? That's actually an S4CW. Also a GC30CW, and then also a TR3030 C-WC. So those are just what came in the thing. So it also comes with your mounting bolts and lock washers, and your cotter pins, new cotter pins for your slack adjuster. So you are going to need a few tools. It's not a lot. You could pretty much do this out in the parking lot of the truck stop if you had to. So I'm very fortunate we have a shop. So the very first thing, you're going to need a 7/8 inch open end wrench, which is right here. And that is for your hoses, to take your hoses off. All right. Then you're going to need a 15/16 for the two bolts. One on top, one on the bottom. So they're 15, on my truck at least, it's 15/16. So 15/16, and then the 7/8 for your two hoses. You're going to need some Teflon tape to put the fittings back in. You're going to need like a channel locks or a pliers to pull out the cotter pins. Also, you're going to need probably one of these handy duty 15/16 ratchet style wrenches, because you can't, and it's easier to show you here, because you're not going to be able to get your impact in there. The bottom one looks like you can get an impact, but the top one definitely not. So you're going to need an open end as well, or one of these. I prefer these ratchet types. They're a little bit more expensive, however, they're worth their weight. Also, you're going to need like a grease pen or something like that to mark one of your lines. And the reason being, I don't know which one is which, but you got two lines going in. You got your service brake line, and your service brake is your brake pedal, I believe, and then you have your dash valve, so your parking brake. So you got, don't get these two mixed up, because you're gonna have a bear of a time. So why you need a grease pen or a way to mark it is you're gonna want to mark the line that goes to this one, or the line that goes, as long as you mark one of these two lines, you can't mess it up. And you may need some zip ties to zip tie the lines. So I'm gonna go ahead and put you on pause. I'm gonna get on my creeper and get up underneath there, and we're gonna start. All right, guys, the first thing you should do is release your brakes, because that's gonna take tension off of your clevis. If that's what it's called, I think it is. But right now, because I know that this brake chamber is that's better, is leaking air. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough time to take all this stuff off before I do that. So I'm gonna see. So I'm gonna pull the two cotter pins. You got one right there and one on the other side. So I'm gonna take my channel locks and take those off and put you on pause. All right, guys, I got the cotter pins out. Now I'm gonna start tapping this pin out. So far it's coming out pretty easy, and then I still have to tap this one out, which I think is going to not be so easy. But I think I could take a screwdriver or a little pry bar here and pry off of the clevis or this push rod. So let me see what I can do. All right, guys, I went ahead and start truck back up, and I'm going and release my brakes, and oh shit, I'm trying to tap it out. I got to put you on pause for this, so I got to do it quick. All right, I wanted to show you guys. So I was able to stick my little pry bar behind the plate right here and push this bolt out. Now I just got to get it out of here. It's coming out a lot easier than when the brakes were on. Hold on 1 second, I gotta put you on pause, I gotta pull it out. All right, just like that. I'm surprised at it. I had all kinds of that's what she said and that's what he said jokes. I missed out on all those he said, she said. All right, so that's it. Now, I'm not worried about the brakes because my truck ain't going anywhere. I chocked the wheels. So once the air runs out, the brake will pop and set the other brakes. So now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to mark one of these lines up here. It doesn't matter which one, as long as you mark one of them. So then we're going to go ahead and take the 7/8, I believe it is. Oh wow, these are actually bigger. Shit. Yeah, 1 7/8. I guess it's 7/8 on the bottom. Anyways, I'm going to mark one of these and I'm going to take those two off. Alright guys, have those two off. I didn't even really need to mark it because this one's got a big spring on it and this one does not, and that's a different type fitting. So now on to removing the bolts. Now, I failed to mention, like I said, I'm not a mechanic and I don't pretend to be a mechanic. Sorry you guys are getting such a bad glare. See, my insulation underneath the truck is still holding up. I got a little leak here, sorry. These things have a high tension spring in them. Be very, very, I mean, this could cause, if this spring in here popped out, I don't know how, but say it was so rusted or something, this spring inside here can kill you or hurt you very, very, very seriously. So please take this easy and have precautions. Don't have any of your body parts on this side or this side of the brake chamber. So now I'm going to go ahead and take our two nuts off, and we'll go from there. Now, like I said, I believe this is a 15/16. Just to demonstrate, see, I mean, just how easy that is with this type of wrench. That's why having those ratchet wrenches are super nice. I'll put you back on pause. All right, guys, easy peasy, nice and easy. I don't know what makes a brake chamber go bad. It's not my business. Now, I'm going to take and scrape all this stuff off. Like I said in my trailer bags videos, start clean, end clean. So I'll put you on pause. All right, guys, I went ahead and prepped it up there. So you're going to need to pull your old air fittings off of the old brake chamber. And then I went ahead and put in the rod and the washer and the bolt. And this rod, or this bolt, nut, washer, and bolt are for, you stick it inside here, you find the groove, and you crank it down and it releases your brakes manually, like I had to do on that one video. So, alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get this cleaned up and get her put in. Alright guys, not like this is difficult, but what turned out to be easy peasy. Let me kill one of these lights. I'm getting a really bad glare. I'm sure it's probably irritating for you guys. So you can see where the clevis is. This does not move, and the bolt, man, it really sucks. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see. My damn lens. I guess that's better. Anyways, so these bolts, they're fixed onto this front part. So my air fittings, so if I were to put it in like this, because the bolt pattern goes top and bottom, not side to side. So just like this, with my air fittings on the top from my two hoses to come in like that, my bolt pattern's off. So I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe by loosening, do not remove these, but just loosening these up, looks like it's double nutted, yeah. By loosening one or both of these up, I think this can rotate. So I'm going to take it on my workbench, put it in the vise, and I'm going to let you know if that's how you do it. Because you obviously can't put it in like this because the bolt pattern's off, right? You see what I'm talking about? So if I put it like that, everything lines up this way, however my bolts on. So I have to turn my bolts. So let me put you back on pause, and I'll let you know how it goes. All right, guys, what I did was I just took a vice grip and I turned this clevis, this push rod. I did not feel comfortable, and I'm sure if you're a mechanic and you're looking at watching this video, you're like, what the fuck were you thinking? I just didn't. There's warnings all over this thing. There's warning on the tag right here. There's warning imprinted on this. They're like, this, do not disassemble. Not that I was actually going to take this ring off, because I'm assuming that this ring keeps this piece and this piece together. Hence the 2 nuts there and lock washer, and 2 nuts here lock washer. And like I said, I've never done this before, so I don't want to take any chances. So what I'm going to do is, I don't want to have, oh shit, I might have to replace this damn hose. Let me put you on pause. Alright guys, yeah, this looks like it's a rub mark or something. I don't like that, but I'm not, this hose, so you can actually buy these fittings. These are like airline hose fittings. I have some of these, so I think what I'm going to do, or I might just go ahead and barb it. But anyways, that's for after this video. So I'm going to go ahead and utilize what I have. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, I turned this with a vice grip. I mean, it wasn't easy, but it wasn't difficult. Like I said, I just don't feel comfortable with even trying to do something stupid. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to, I don't know which is worse of the two evils. If I have it like that, or I have it on the inside. If a tire blows or something like that, I don't know. I think I'm going to do it so that the lines are facing on this side. So I'm going to put you on pause and we'll go from there. All right, guys. I have the air lines hooked back up, and I just was able to push the unit forward a little bit, because I have to start the truck back up, build up air, and then release the brakes so that this push rod will go this way so I can continue. Then I'll put the pins in with the cotter pins, and then I'll tighten these 2 bolts up, or nuts. I don't know why I mess that up all the time. Anyways, I'm gonna put you on pause. We're gonna start the truck. All right, guys. So I went ahead and started the truck up, built the pressure, and I released my brakes. Now I can go ahead and fasten this down. First, I'm gonna put the pins in, and I did find I do have this fitting, so after I'm done with the video, I'm going to repair that iffy line. I'll put you on pause. All right, guys, I want to show you this real quick. So what I do is I put the small pin in first and put the cotter pin on it, and now I'm going to drive this one in. I need the other hand for that. So the small one first, and then the bigger one, with your nuts off of your brake chamber. All right, guys, second pin is in, cotter pin's on. Now I can go ahead and get this in. See how easy that works? Because if you don't release your brakes, this push rod is all the way out, and you're going to have a really difficult time. So we'll go ahead and put you on pause. All right, guys, that's it. I am going to look at talking to my parts guy, or looking up on a trucker chat forum, and see if I can. I don't like the airlines being on the side like this, but I really have no choice. Like I said, I'm going to do a little bit of research before I mess with those 2 little nuts. But I would assume that if you did loosen these just a little bit, do never take this ring off. I'm sure it might rotate. I'm not sure, but don't quote me on that. Anyways, I got to go ahead and adjust that that other bad line, and please like and subscribe to the channel. Ciao.